Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff shares the one piece of advice she gave Alexandra Eala as they play doubles at the Italian Open. Gauff and Eala are playing doubles at the 2025 Italian Open, and they came out on top in their opening match. The pair edged out Alexandra Panova and Fanny Stollar in the round of 32, setting up a round of 16 clash with Lisa Pigato and Tyra. Gauff has been full of praise for Grant, who recently switched her allegiance from the United States to Italy. Eala, meanwhile, has been hugely impressive on the WTA Tour in recent times, recently reaching the Miami Open semifinals. Coco Gauff has encouraged Alexandra Eala to play doubles as much as possible. The 19-year-old beat Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and Jelena Ostapenko during that run before losing to Jessica Pegula. And Gauff has now shared her verdict on the recent attention that the teenager has been attracting, with the American saying, "She seems to be handling it super well. There's ups and downs in the sport, but you realize that the media is there to kind of paint that story and make it more interesting. But that shouldn't be added pressure or anything like that. She seems chill. She seems like she's working hard. So I don't have any advice for her, just because she seems relaxed. The only thing I did tell her was that doubles helped me a lot in that space, having some time on court where it's a little less stressful. So I encouraged her to play when she could." Coco Gauff explains Italian Open doubles partnership with Alexandra Eala. Eala has enjoyed a huge rise in recent times, with the Philippine star rising to 70th in the WTA Tour rankings. And while she fell to Marta Kostyuk in her opening match at the Italian Open, she certainly has a bright future ahead. Gauff has, of course, already been on that journey, although she did manage to win the US Open at the age of 19. Whether Eala can replicate that success in the near future remains to be seen, with the duo currently focused on their doubles venture in Rome. Asked how the partnership came about, Gauff said, "She DM'd me on Instagram. She slid in my DMs and asked me to play. I was like, sure, why not? We really didn't know each other, honestly, before Madrid. I said hi to her for the first time in Madrid or maybe Miami. We may have briefly said hello. I figured she would be nice, so I was just hoping she would be, Obviously, she's such a nice person. When there's people finally my age on tour, I'm glad to interact. For me, it was a good opportunity to play doubles, but also have a relaxed vibe with another player. I'm super happy to play with her, and obviously she's a killer in doubles. 2 junior slams and probably some future ones too." The Italian Open has long been a canvas for tennis artistry. From the sculpted marble of the Foro Italico to the swirling red clay underfoot, it's a tournament where elegance and intensity intertwine. This year in the doubles draw, something refreshing unfolded. A partnership not forged by rankings or long-term planning, but by intuition and respect. Coco Gauff and Alexandra Eala. One, a Grand Slam champion and one of America's brightest stars. The other, a rising Filipina phenom blazing her trail with quiet determination. Their pairing in Rome was unexpected, and that's what made it beautiful. But behind their on-court synergy and playful camaraderie, there was a simple, grounding truth. A single line of advice that Coco Gauff shared with Eala before their first match, one that would define their campaign. Stay true to your game. It wasn't shouted across the court. It wasn't a command. It was a gift, a phrase wrapped in sisterly support, meant to anchor Eala when the wave of the moment crept in. The unexpected due. The story of the Gauff-Eala partnership began not with a press release or formal coaching meeting, but with a DM. Just messaged her like, "Hey, want to team up for Rome?" Gauff recalled with a grin. She replied in 5 minutes with a yes and a smiley face. That was it. Though they'd exchanged words on tour before, they weren't close friends. Not yet, but both had admired each other from afar. Gauff saw in Eala a rare blend of discipline and composure. Eala saw in Gauff the kind of fearless tennis she dreamed of playing. "I wasn't even sure if she was serious." Eala laughed. "I thought maybe she needed a partner last minute, and I happened to be online." But it was more than a whim. Gauff had been watching Eala's quiet climb, her gutsy win over Swiatek in Miami, her steady poise against seeded players. Gauff saw what many now see. Eala is coming. First steps, first nerves. As they warmed up for their first match on Rome's Court 6, a modest clay court tucked behind the grander arenas, Gauff noticed something familiar in Eala's energy. She was dialed in but quiet, Gauff said. You could tell she didn't want to mess up or let me down. It reminded Gauff of her own early days, when she played with Venus Williams and struggled to relax. So during a break, Coco leaned over and said the most important thing she could think of. Don't play to impress me. Don't play to be perfect. Just stay true to your game. That's the player I wanted to partner with. That line changed everything, unlocking Eala's confidence. Those words gave me permission. Eala later admitted, permission to just be me. And who Eala is a clay court artist. Her lefty spin, sharp angles, and clever use of space made her a natural in doubles. Once she shook off the pressure, her instincts flowed. She began poaching more. She called out plays with clarity. She returned with aggression. She stopped holding back, Gauff said, and it was amazing to watch. In one memorable second-round rally, Eala chased down a lob, spun mid-slide, and flicked a cross-court winner past their stunned opponents. Gauff raised both hands like a proud older sister. Lex is a baller, she told the crowd, growing beyond the match. That phrase, stay true to your game, became more than a tactical suggestion. It became a mantra. In their third-round match, when they were down a break and struggling with rhythm, Eala admitted she began second-guessing herself. I was thinking, should I just keep it safe? Should I let Coco take the big shots? But then she remembered the advice. She adjusted her grip, trusted her topspin, and fired a backhand winner down the line. It wasn't the safe shot. It was her shot. They broke back, and eventually they won the match in a tied break. A mentorship without ego. What makes this partnership unique is that Gauff didn't need to mentor Eala. She chose to. She could have focused on her own game, her singles draw, her upcoming Roland Garros run. But Coco, now 20, has grown into a leader on tour. She knows what it's like to be the youngest in the room, and she's decided to use that experience to uplift. I don't see Lex as just a young player. I see her as a peer, Gauff said. But if I can share something that helps her skip a few of the hard lessons I had to learn the long way, I will. Eala, in return, brings her own flavor. Her tactical sharpness, her humble but focused presence, her unshakable sense of where she comes from. She teaches me too, Gauff said, about patience, about pacing yourself emotionally, and she always makes me laugh. She's got this super dry humor. Off the court in Rome, between matches, they explored the city. They visited the Spanish Steps, where Coco jokingly challenged Eala to sprint to the top. Eala declined, citing Recovery Day logic. They toured the Vatican museums and took photos under the Sistine Chapel. No cameras allowed, but Eala sketched a tiny version of the ceiling in her journal later. They bonded over pasta, playlists, and a shared dislike for overly serious warm-ups. We do shadow swings, but then dance between drills, Eala said. Coco can't sit still. The partnership was growing roots, not just as a tennis team, but as a genuine friendship. What comes next? Though their doubles campaign ended in the quarterfinals against the seasoned Czech pair, their impact lasted longer than the scoreboard. Fans from both the Philippines and the U.S. flooded social media with support. Young girls across Asia watched Eala stand toe-to-toe with global stars, and Gauff, already a role model, reminded the world what real leadership looks like. As for the future, I'd love to play with her again, Gauff said, and not just in doubles. I think we'll face each other in some big singles matches soon. She's coming up fast. Eala, ever grounded, smiled at the idea. I'm just trying to learn from every opportunity. But playing with Coco, that's one I'll remember forever. The power of one line. In tennis, strategies change. Serves miss. Rankings fluctuate. But sometimes, one simple line can outlast it all. Stay true to your game. It's advice for tennis, but also for life. And for Alexandra Eala, it unlocked more than a game plan. It reminded her of who she is and why she belongs. In Rome, they didn't lift a trophy, but they built something perhaps even more valuable: trust, confidence, and the start of a story still being written.